I have laid some ground rules. For instance, you're not allowed to bring superstars back from injury. I'm the only one that can do that. I want to make that kind of a surprise for everybody. Also, no bringing superstars back from, the retirement home. We're not going to see Stone Cold Steve Austin unless, I want to bring him back as a surprise, which might happen. But I don't want there to be, let's have a United States Championship match between Cactus Jack and Stone Cold Steve Austin when I haven't brought either of those two superstars back. So basically no Seth Rollins, no The Rock, none of those guys. But once I bring them back, or once I say, Stone Cold Steve Austin is returning to full-time, wrestling, then you guys could use them in those type of matches. So far, this is just the second Monday Night Raw episode, and we haven't had any surprise returns except, because John Cena was supposed to come back. This is the second Monday Night Raw after Extreme Rules, which is when he actually comes back from injury. It's technically the Memorial Day episode of Monday Night Raw. So that's actually kind of why I brought him back, because he's legit, going to be there on this in particular episode. Of course, my version of Raw is going to be significantly different. So he's going to be in a huge main event match between Kevin Owens, Kalisto, and himself. But the only thing that we've gotten is Bayley. That's right, Bayley, former NXT Women's Champion Bayley, has moved up to the main roster. She was a surprise entrant on SmackDown's Triple Threat match for the number one contender spot for the WWE Women's Championship. And we know that the new Women's Champion, Natalya, will take on Charlotte and Bayley, and another 3 superstars that have yet to be named. However, they will not include Sasha Banks or Emma, because Sasha Banks and Emma both lost that triple threat match and have been eliminated from the possibility of entering themselves in this match. But we will get to see another 2 women entered into this matchup on SmackDown. So on SmackDown, we are going to see one more WWE Championship number 1 contendership match. We are going to see one more women's championship, or 2 more women's championship number 1 contenders matches, and another United States number 1 contendership match. So that way, by Raw next time that we come here for Monday Night Raw, the WWE Intercontinental and United States, as well as the women's, will all have close, either 4 or 5 superstars named for those matches. And then by the end of next week, at least video game week, we will have all the matches set for Elimination Chamber, and then the final Raw and SmackDown will lead up to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, as all the matches have been determined. So that is basically what is going to happen, and I highly recommend you stay tuned and get involved. Be sure to comment on these videos. Let me know what kind of matches you want to see, and it's going to be one hell of a time, I tell you what. So make sure to do that. Kick out at 2 by Dean Ambrose. Curtis Axel. If Curtis Axel can pin Ambrose, you gotta wonder, 1, if Ambrose can bounce back after all this, but 2, if Axel deserves a championship number 1 contendership match. Right now, Stardust already defeating Ambrose, and on SmackDown, I wouldn't put it past the possibility of him going in that United States number 1 contendership match, but also the possibility of the WWE Championship match. I don't know about you guys, but we are going to see some surprise entrance. I mean, if it's left up to me, Stardust will probably get a WWE World Heavyweight Championship #1 contendership match against somebody yet to be named, because not only did he defeat Dean Ambrose, a man that has been in WWE World Heavyweight Championship competition a number of times over the last year and a half, but he has also gotten a lot of momentum built after that win. However, Stardust will not be in action here tonight, as well as SmackDown. You could just say that there's some contract issues with Stardust. Sure, we'll go with that. There's some contract issues with Stardust. So I mean, there will come a time when too many superstars are gone to just be like, okay, you know, we'll just, like, right now I'm not using Bad News Barrett because he has left the company. He's officially gone from the WWE, as well as Damien Sandow / Mizdow in this game. Ooh, nice clothesline by Curtis Axel. But I'm not using either of them, but as well as Cameron, as well as Layla. But there will come a time when I've lost so many superstars, and I think that is when you start seeing some of these legends return, like Stone Cold Steve Austin and stuff. Well, here comes Ambrose, and here comes Dirty Deeds to Curtis Axel, and is that enough to get Curtis Axel out of this match? And Bo Dallas dragging the referee out of the way, so now Ambrose is going to have to start to wear out Curtis Axel, as Bo Dallas not even banned from ringside after that, and now Axel getting a 2 count before a kick out by Dean Ambrose. Well, a pretty interesting match so far, as Ambrose and Axel, pretty decent chemistry in the ring between the two. And now Ambrose going for the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out by Axel at 2. So Bo Dallas ultimately probably saved the matchup for Curtis Axel, dragging the referee immediately after that Dirty Deeds DDT did its work on Axel and allowed Axel time to recover while Ambrose was distracted by the referee being distracted. And oh man, there's that swinging neckbreaker, patented Curtis Axel. 1, 2, and a kick out by Dean Ambrose. Axel can't believe it. He thought that was it. He thought it was the end of Ambrose with that move. And now a kick to the sternum of Dean Ambrose. And now Ambrose going for a power bomb, and he hits it. And now going for the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 by Axel. Unbelievable action so far in this matchup. And now Axel tossing Ambrose into the corner. And now picking Ambrose up, possibly looking for that huge suplex, the superplex off the top rope. For some reason, the name of the move escaped me. But Ambrose sent down hard. And Axel now going for the cover. Is that enough? 1, 2, and a kick out at 2.5 by Dean Ambrose. It's not enough, folks. It's not enough to keep Ambrose down for that 3 count. And now Ambrose back in control of this matchup. And now Ambrose turning Axel around, and it looks like he's going for that submission hold. You don't really see this much from Ambrose, but he's now trying to make Axel tap out. Will he be able to do it? No, Axel survives, and he will stay alive in this matchup. But Ambrose now going for the cover immediately after the submission. And now he gets a 2.5 count. It's not enough, as Curtis Axel kicks out, and Ambrose can't believe it. He thought he wore him down just enough to where he didn't have to tap out, but he would be down for that 3 count. And now Ambrose ramming his elbow into the back of Curtis Axel, and then a kick by Axel, and now Axel setting up. Is this the end of Ambrose? Is Ambrose going to lose another match here on Raw? And oh, the finishing maneuver by Curtis Axel, and now going for the cover, and a kick out by Ambrose without even getting a 1 count. Unbelievable. Ambrose survives, and he survives handily. right after the finishing maneuver by Curtis Axel, and Ambrose just kicks out like it was nothing. Way to sell the move, Ambrose. Way to sell the move. And Ambrose now looking for it, and here it comes. Dirty Deeds to Axel. And Axel now going down. 1, 2, and a kick out by Axel. No way. A second Dirty Deeds is not enough to put Axel away. Can you believe it? And now a drop kick by Curtis Axel. I can't believe Axel was able to kick out of that Dirty Deeds by Ambrose, not once, but twice. And now a punch to the face, and Ambrose. Back first goes Curtis Axel, and now Ambrose to the top rope. Is this going to be enough? Is he going to jump off the top rope? Elbow first, and now Ambrose not even going for the cover. He knows it's not going to be enough. Then there's that leg DDT. A DDT to the leg that hurts like hell. It could tear ligaments in your knee. And now Axel with the reversal. Axel gets the upper hand. And now Ambrose tossing Axel across the ring. And now here comes Ambrose. Here comes that huge power bomb. And 1, 2. And a kick out by Axel at 2. It's still not enough to keep him down. Absolutely unbelievable. Dean Ambrose and Curtis Axel are both still alive in this matchup. And now Ambrose picking up Axel, and Axel reversing it here. Axel doing whatever he can to pick up the win. And now Axel tossing down Ambrose, and here comes his signature maneuver. Oh man, and there's that neck breaker by Curtis Axel. And once again, Axel going for the cover. 1, 2, and a kick out by Ambrose. I can't believe it. Ambrose is still alive in this matchup. What is it going to take to put one of these superstars away? And Axel now going for that punch, but now Ambrose into the headlock. And Ambrose just shoves him off. And by Ambrose, that could cost him this match. Just tossing Curtis Axel once again regains control. A bad move by Axel aside, and Axel's able to pick up some momentum off of it. But now a missed shot by Axel, and now Ambrose looking for something, but he fails to connect. And then Axel fails to connect. And now Ambrose once again with control. Back first goes Axel. And now Dean Ambrose going towards the legs. And what is Dean Ambrose going to do? He's going to rake the back of Curtis Axel. And now Ambrose with some momentum here. And now Ambrose tossing Axel down. And now going for that working hold, trying to wear Axel out, trying to stop Axel from getting the momentum in this matchup. And now Axel starting to fight out of it. And then elbows to the stomach of Ambrose. And Axel once again gaining momentum here. Is Axel going to have enough? No, Ambrose. And now Axel. And now Ambrose. And Ambrose tossing Axel into another corner. And now Axel with the momentum. And now Axel with the atomic drop on a single leg. And Axel now dragging Ambrose down. He thinks that could be enough. That atomic drop. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 by Ambrose. Both superstars have thrown everything they have at their opponent. Ambrose has hit 2 dirty deeds, and Axel has hit 2 signature maneuvers and his finisher. And now going for the pin. 1, 2, 3, and that's enough. Ambrose stunned here. Axel gets the cover, and Curtis Axel has beaten his opponent in this matchup. Unbelievable. Curtis Axel getting the win here, and that is going to be enough, folks, for Axel to upset Dean Ambrose. And Ambrose has not won a single match since beating Jericho at Extreme Rules. And ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to our next contest, but Curtis Axel very well could be in future #1 contendership matches after a huge